Guys, AEW might just be back. The feeling might just be restored. Oh my, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Robbie, what are you talking about? Did you not see that abysmal rating they pulled on last Wednesday? They did like a little less than 700,000 viewers. And to that, you know, listen, I get it. There was a point when they were doing well over 1 million week after week after week back in 2021. I'm not talking about ratings right now. That's something that changes after. See, this is what people don't understand. You know, if you have a great show, the ratings aren't going to go up and just skyrocket and just instantly be back at what they were. In fact, I don't think they'll ever be back at what they were. And that's not a problem with AEW. That's just a problem with, I mean, like 2021 was 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago, you know, and people don't watch, like a lot of people don't have cable anymore. Like, that's just not a thing. That's a dying industry. Cable and all that stuff, that is just, people don't do that anymore. You know what I mean? There's streaming services, there's whatever, you know, so I'm not really going to concern myself. I mean, look, are the ratings as high as they can be? No. A 1.2 million in 2021, if they got that in 2024, that'd be about a 1 million, or maybe like a 900 or 950. That's what I'm going to say. Okay, so is 700,000 the biggest number they could ever get? No. Is it not great? Yeah, it's not amazing. Okay, but we got to take into consideration, number one, the DNC was on. Now, as a non-American myself, I was not watching that, you know, but these ratings come in straight from America. This isn't, you know, North American Nielsen ratings. This isn't, you know, any of that. This is strictly American viewers. Okay, now, I'm not going to really say that's an excuse, because it's not. You know what I mean? But, you know, what I'm saying is AEW might have just restored the feeling with that show that they just did on Wednesday. That was one of the best Dynamites in 2024 so far. In fact, you know, a lot of people were saying this. JD from NY, and many others. In the beginning of 2024, I mean, not so much the beginning, but like in the early spring of 2024, they kept saying that this is the best AEW television that they've ever seen, and they're doing the best weekly shows. Now, I disagree with that. In fact, I disagree with that heavily. I could not, for the life of me, get into AEW in the beginning of 2024 like I could in 2023 or 2022 or any of the other times. I don't know. I did not see it that way. I did not see the shows that way. They had a couple good weeks. They had a couple great shows. But this show, on Wednesday, 2 nights ago, was incredible. It was a great go-home show. Okay? We start with Mercedes and Britt Baker. And they're having their contract signing. Now, say what you want about it. This is exactly what the feud needed. This feud has been stale. These are the two biggest women in AEW, and they weren't doing anything to sell the match on me. Mercedes is not a good promo, but she was okay on Wednesday. Britt is also sometimes not a great promo. She was good. Alright, so this whole exchange was great. The contract signing, the segment, everything about it, I really enjoyed that. They sold the match on me. Good on them. We got a lot of stuff on Wednesday. We got stuff on Wednesday that was... dude, the MJF and Ospreay promo kind of battle, right? Promo off, face-to-face, whatever you want to call it. That was giving me shades of MJF Punk. That was very, very good. I saw some dweeb online talking about how it shouldn't have gone as long as it did. It should have been shorter. Are you kidding me? That should have been longer. Give me another 15 minutes of that. Give me another 15 minutes of that. When MJF and CM Punk had their promo off, that was like 20, 25 minutes. Something like that. It was great. Right? It was fantastic. This was also great. It started off slower, right? And I was kind of like, man, I'm not too sure about MJF in 2024. You know, he's just not really the same as what he was doing back then. That's, you know, what made him great. I'm not seeing a lot of that, but we built up to it, man. Dude, he interrupts Ospreay, and he goes, they loved me until you showed up. And that's such a powerful line. That really encapsulates what this rivalry is truly about. See, MJF is hardly ever envious. He's hardly ever jealous. Any of that. Because MJF knows he's the best. And we know he's the best. Right? He's better than me, and I know it. Alright? But now, here comes MJF being completely outshined by Will Ospreay. I thought it was great. I thought it was really, really great. And then we get to the end, and we have the Bryan Danielson, Swerve Strickland. They're coming face to face. Dude, Bryan Danielson's promo. First of all, the whole exchange was great, but Bryan Danielson, in the end, I mean, this whole time I thought, no way Bryan's doing this. Like, no way. Like, Swerve, you know, I mean, this whole time I was like, this could be Bryan's last match. It might just be something weird could happen. I don't know. But now I'm thinking, well, maybe he's going to win the title. And we might have a Bryan Danielson AEW World Title run to close 2024. Has AEW restored the feeling? In that show, it tells me that there's hope. That show told me that when Tony Khan wants to be Tony Khan, and he wants to put on a great show, and he wants to restore the feeling, dude, he can restore the feeling. And the thing is, you know, I have the documentary is coming out. It's called AEW in 2025. And since that last show, look, I got more stuff to talk about. There's been announcements. I got to add that to the documentary. And I don't know, the documentary is going to be released. I was hoping before All In, but I think it's going to be after All In. I think it's going to have to be after All In because it's not done yet, and I want to make sure it's really good. Basically, the documentary is, you know, it's going to cover the past, the present, and the future of AEW, and that's really what this is all about. What happened in the past, what's happening in the present, and how is this going to affect what AEW looks like in 2025? And with these, you know, announcements that we're getting, with All In going back in 2026, back to London in 2026, Texas in 2025, which I think is a great decision. They're doing Forbidden Door in London. They're doing Dynasty somewhere else. I forget, but Dynasty is going somewhere else. That's going to be sick. Dude, AEW in 2025, the future looks bright. The future looks really bright. I'm excited for AEW in 2025. I can't believe I'm saying this. I think 2024 was a flop so far. And I think 2023 was also kind of a flop. But 2025, dude, I don't know. But from what I'm seeing and from, dude, if we're going to get Danielson as the champion and, you know, if he can carry that title until 2025, or if Hangman has the title and he carries it till 2025, I don't know. And we have All In coming. And this show, I was going to make a video, you know, and the title was going to be, Will All In Save AEW? Is All In going to be the missing ingredient? Is this going to restore the feeling, this show? Because here's the thing. A lot of AEW, slowly but surely, has gone back to its old ways, which I really like. They brought the tunnels back. They have the guardrails again. And, you know, a lot of this stuff is just budget cuts, to be quite honest. But that's okay. You can disguise budget cuts as not a budget cut. Like, it's like, you know, in a video game, right? If it's a bug, it's not a bug. It's a feature. AEW needs to look a little bit more underground, I think. It doesn't need to look unprofessional, but it needs to look a little bit underground like it did in the early years. But that's not the point of the video. The point is All In. We're getting All In. We've seen the stage being built. I don't know. I mean, I have. You know, if you go on Twitter, you can see it. The stage is being built. It looks like it's going to be literally like a WrestleMania caliber type stage. It's going to be, you know, and the card. This is not a 13-match card. At least not yet, anyway. Who knows what's going to happen tonight on Rampage or, you know, on Collision. I don't know, because I'm not going to be watching. But it's a solid, like, I don't know what it is. It's like 8 or 9 matches or something. Dude, yeah. Keep it. Keep it as what it is. We don't need more than that. This card is good. This card is good for what it is right now. Every match seems to make at least a little bit of sense. Every match has at least a little bit of story. This is going to be great. And not only that, but think of the returns and the debuts that we could see at this show. Here's the thing. If Kenny Omega returns at All In, I don't know where he would even be. I don't know what's going to happen. But if Kenny Omega returns, I'm going to poop my pants. And the thing is, that's not even the biggest return I would pop for. Yeah, I'd scream. But you know who I'd scream 2 times as loud for if they returned? Which I think they will. Jamie Hayter. Dude, if Jamie Hayter returns at All In, that's it. That's it. This show could be the best AEW pay-per-view they've ever done. Or the best AEW pay-per-view since All Out 2021. I'm going to say that right now. Last year's All In was good. It was good, not great. It was good for what it was, but to be honest, there's not a lot of rewatch value in that show. I haven't seen the show since. And I don't feel the need to. WrestleMania this year, WrestleMania 40, I've seen multiple times. Because there were so many moments in that WrestleMania that really so many great moments. All Out 2021. You know how many times I've seen the Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole double debut? Too many times to count. Alright? This show could give us the same feeling that All Out 2021 gave us. And here's the thing, I was mentioning the ratings and stuff. Yeah. Are they at an all-time low? Absolutely. Are the ticket sales at an all-time low? Absolutely. This is something that changes over time. AEW in 2019 was also fantastic. And yeah, their first couple of shows, they did very well attended. Very good in the attendance and very good in the ratings. But it took them a couple years to get to the 2021. They survived a whole pandemic. It took them a while to get to where they were. And the only reason why they were as big as they were in 2021 was because of all the stuff that was going on. And you think, another thing that I think is really going to help AEW are these backstage rumors or lack thereof. There's not a lot of, bad rumors from the backstage area. There's not a lot of that. I don't know. I haven't seen much. With the show that we just had on Wednesday, and All In coming, this weekend. Let's say All In happens. Okay, and let's say All In's going to happen, but let's say during All In this happens. We get a Kenny Omega return. We get a Jamie Hayter return. We get an Adam Cole return. And we get a Ricochet debut. Is that not going to just alone make that pay-per-view of the year for AEW? Now, you take that, give or take Adam Cole. But the other three, it's not certain that they're going to happen, but I really hope they happen. And there's a high chance that those other 3 things do happen. Now, you take that, and you also take into consideration the incredible matches that we're going to see at All In. Matches with story. Matches with a feeling to them. Dude, the Bryan Danielson match. Before this Wednesday, I was like, why is this the main event? Yeah, I get it. It could be Bryan's last match, but why is this the main event? Now I understand. Because this is where they were getting to. Imagine if Bryan Danielson wins and starts doing the yes chants with the 50,000 people in the arena. I'm going to lose my mind. I'm not saying that AEW is the best it's ever been right now, but I'm just saying I can see it. I lost all hope. But the way the gears are in motion now, the way things are happening, I don't know. I'm starting to get hope again. Starting to get hope that 2025 is actually going to look fantastic. You let me know if you think All In is going to save AEW. You let me know if you think their feeling can be restored. Good night.